In an unknown city, an ancient clock tower stood shrouded in decay and silence. Locals spoke of its sinister curse. The bell, long broken, was said to toll at 3 a.m., and when it did, something unspeakable awoke. Lucy, a daring university student, had spent months researching the legend. The townsfolk warned her against investigating. The bell's call is meant for the dead, one elderly man whispered. But Lucy was undeterred. She wanted to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. One foggy December night, armed with a flashlight, camera, and notebook, Lucy pushed open the tower's rusted iron gates. A sharp screech pierced the still night air, making her freeze. She looked around, but no one was there. Or so she thought. Inside, the air felt dense, heavy, with an unnatural chill. The spiral staircase loomed ahead, its stone steps slick with moss. As Lucy climbed, faint carvings on the walls caught her attention. Faceless figures gathered beneath the bell, their hands raised as though in reverence. Their empty eyes seemed to follow her as she ascended. 2:52 a.m. Her watch ticked louder in the oppressive silence. Reaching the bell chamber, Lucy stepped into the freezing room. The massive bell stood at its center, cracked and tarnished, a relic of forgotten times. Yet, despite its age, it emitted a faint hum, a low vibrating sound that seemed to pulse with life. "This can't be real," Lucy muttered, her breath fogging the air. The bell had been dormant for decades, and yet it sounded as if it were breathing. In one corner of the room, she spotted something etched into the stone floor. Shining her flashlight, she read, "The bell tolls for the chosen. Escape is an illusion. 2:58 a.m. A sudden chill swept through the room, extinguishing her flashlight. She fumbled to turn it back on, her hands trembling. A faint scraping noise echoed from the walls, like nails scratching on stone. Then she felt it, a presence behind her. Turning sharply, she found nothing but shadows. Yet the air crackled with unseen energy. And then she heard it, a whisper, faint and raspy. "Why have you come?" Lucy's pulse quickened. Her watch now read 2:59 a.m. The hum from the bell grew louder, vibrating through the floor and into her chest. The carvings on the walls seemed to twist, the faceless figures shifting their gaze toward her. The clock struck 3 a.m. The bell's toll wasn't just a sound, it was a force. The vibrations tore through the room, rattling the walls and knocking Lucy to her knees. Her ears rang as a deep guttural scream filled the air. From the carvings on the walls, shadows began to emerge. They weren't just shadows, they were figures, hollow-eyed and grotesquely twisted. The figures advanced, their bodies jerking unnaturally. A cacophony of whispers surrounded her, overlapping and incoherent. "You were chosen. There is no escape." Lucy bolted for the staircase, her heart pounding in her chest. But the steps seemed endless, spiraling deeper and deeper into darkness. The shadows pursued her, their icy fingers grazing her back, their whispers growing louder. At last, she stumbled into a chamber she didn't recognize. At its center stood a cracked mirror. Its surface rippled, reflecting not Lucy, but a distorted version of herself. Black, empty eyes, and a grin that stretched impossibly wide. "Welcome," it said, speaking in her voice. Lucy tried to scream, but no sound came. The shadows swarmed around her, their cold, skeletal hands dragging her toward the mirror. Her reflection reached out, pulling her inside. The next morning, the townspeople heard the bell tolling. Though the clock had been broken for years, Lucy's friends searched for her, but she was never found. Days later, a young boy claimed to see her standing at the top of the clock tower. Her hollow black eyes stared down, and her lips curved into an eerie smile. Every night at 3 a.m., the bell rings, and on the wind, her voice can be heard. The bell tolls for the chosen. Will it toll for you next?